Supposedly, what they are going to be are Hood, Outlaws, and Legends, which we can, as a group, try that out and see if it's any fun. I'm not expecting much,
Yeah, I'm not either. I
especially since that was something that's been released within the last year and it's already on the PS Plus as a freebie game.
yeah,
Not really having high hopes.
yeah,
Probably ended up kind of like what was that Knights game?
yeah.
The one where there was
I know what
yeah,
you're talking.
you know which one I'm talking about. Plays
For
either Knight,
Honor.
Samurai, or For Honor. That was it. Thank you. Let's see, Slay the Spire, which I won't mind playing that. You know me. I like card. I like cards collection strategy games and RPGs and that sort of thing. So that doesn't bother me so much. But why is the last one SpongeBob SquarePants: The Battle for Bikini Bottom rehydrated?
Uh, Honestly, I'm hoping that they got this wrong, and it's what we saw, what I showed you.
Which were what and what again? I forget.
I know Outriders was one of them,
Right.
and I really wasn't paying attention to the other ones.
Well, there was that. And then the other thing was the new PlayStation Plus thing that's supposed to be
Yeah,
starting in June.
yeah, okay, so that is something I really thought we were going to discuss. So, I appreciate they're not changing the price for just normal plus.
Yes,
Okay, I wish if they were going to change the price, I think it should be a price drop.
I thought that too.
Okay,
Cannot let this abomination.
Uh,
we're gonna just yeah.
Because I mean, two reasons for the price drop that I would think would be a necessity. One is you're gonna have more people likely to spend. If you've price dropped everything, so it's like say
It's
45 for our current, and then you go say, oh, it's like 65 or 70 for the slight next step up.
yeah,
More people will be more likely to pay that extra to get it because
yep,
it's not that much more than what they're currently paying in their minds. But if you
correct.
go straight from 60 to 100,
And then it's 120 for the highest tier.
see now to go from the 100 to the 120. If someone's already willing to shell out the 120 doesn't seem like that much more, especially since it's basically doubling the amount of free games they're going to get off the service.
So
And they're more
my
likely to, and with that extra 20, they're more likely to get AAA and hot titles like God of War and the Spider-Man Miles Morales and all that stuff.
so my whole thing, because I looked into this a little bit more, or I should say I watched someone else's look into this because
Right.
with the channel folks, I don't have time to look at every thing. So yes, I look at certain channels that do the news, and then if it's interesting and I think we all would have fun discussing it, then I bring it up. But so
We
it's
have lives. All
yeah.
evidence to the contrary. Um,
Um, so I looked up. So it's not even actual downloading of a game. It's on their streaming service, like
right, for the
PlayStation
PlayStation 3 games, yes.
N2 and 1.
They said the PlayStation 2 and 1 games would be available as streaming or downloading, according to what I read and saw.
Right, but
Now,
here's the thing.
that could be completely wrong.
But but here's the thing. I don't care who you are. Their streaming service for those games is horrible.
The PS Now or whatever.
Yes. Like I have tried it several times.
It's just that bad.
You can't get your server, like you need fiber optic cables or something.
Okay. So that's another thing that would necessitate the price drop. Then is like if your service does not function or is not steady. That someone can play. I understand blips happen.
yeah, we're not opposed to. Okay, happens. You know, there's a rainstorm or something outside.
You know, or if you've been playing a game for 2-3 hours, you know, and
Right.
the server, you lose server connection for a second and it blips out. That happens. I mean, that happens on a game you have a disc for these days.
Right.
Or that you've downloaded and actually installed on your system. That happens. So that's not that bad. But if you're telling me their system is not stable enough that you can play a game for longer
I
than
haven't
15
played it
minutes without stutters, frame rate drops.
So here's the thing. I haven't played it recently. I haven't done it recently. I think the last time I did it was right before COVID hit. And for some games, it was okay. But for other games, like if you're trying to play a fighting game online, it was...
Well, that seems like that would be a double error, because it's like if you're playing an online fighting game, you're trying to connect to their servers for the info for the game to play it, and you're connecting to whatever server that game service uses to be able to connect with someone else to play. That's too many servers it's trying to
But here's the thing. I wasn't even doing the online play. I was just doing a story mode. Right. And here's the thing. If I can't, and we all know fighting games, folks, the computer will fuck you over if you don't know how to play the game. Or if you let it have a second. Or, like it...
Yep. Especially final bosses.
Yeah. So, like, that was my problem with it. Like, some other games were fine. I didn't have a problem with them. But,
Yep.
I
understand.
When you're in it, like, and that's the thing. If I'm not looking at it for me, because, all I play are video games and stream movies. So, but, I'm looking at the kid who has... or person who has like 3 other people in the apartment or in the house like you do, and then they try to go play a game, and then...
Yep. Okay, so again, that kind of necessitates the drop in price there, especially if it's a streaming the game service. I mean, none of those have ever functioned properly that I know of.
And here's the thing, that's what differs, and I'm going to say this because he doesn't know it, that's what differs Game Pass on Xbox versus what they're trying to do.
Yeah, see, that was the thing, and I've said it a couple times. I've even said it to... I don't know if I've said it to you yet, Warwolf, but I've mentioned that with this change in their system and the extra prices and stuff, and oh, by the way, supposedly they're dropping from 3 free games a month to 2 free games a month.
Yeah, you need to have a PS5 to get the 3rd one, from what I was reading.
See, I am severely debating that when I actually do have the money to finally get a new system, aside from the fact that now I'm just going to wait for, if I was still planning to get a PlayStation 5, I'm waiting for the PlayStation 5 Pro or Plus or whatever they're going to be calling it when it comes out, because supposedly they're finally working on one. That's A. B, I've been seriously debating, especially with this change in their services they're planning, that personally I don't entirely appreciate. I'm wondering if maybe I should just jump ship to Microsoft at this point and go Xbox.
Well, so the one thing that I will say, the Game Pass is great. I don't know if we have it right now, but when we do have it, it's great because it's like, oh, there's all these free games we can play. I don't need to buy games. I pay, my monthly price, and I get all these free games.
You see, I have been a Sony guy from the beginning. PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3. I had the PSP.
Right, and that's the one. So that's the one thing that made me kind of interested in the very special edition thing that they were saying, the top tier, is all the PSP games you could play. Possibly. You know?
Yeah, there were some games specific to that console that were never...
Pour it over.
Yeah, they were never ported or redistributed again. I mean, I actually have. It's still in my physical game library somewhere. I have the Final Fantasy War of the Lions. The Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions. I physically have that game. Have never finished it because my PSP died. Physically died. It wasn't as far as I know, it's not the battery. Just the system itself just kicked the bucket.
Right, but like that's the only thing that's got me interested. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless they go, yeah, no, we dropped all the Metal Gears. Then you might have me, because you know.
But then again, the price point is a big stickler to me.
Yeah,
and it's like, and I will bet you, not confirming, not denying, just betting here, that a lot of those games, like the PSPs or even some of the, a lot of the PS3s or the 1 and 2s, I will bet you that a lot of those will not be available hardware-wise unless you have a PS5, because they'll probably be configured to work on that system.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like it's looking like I kind of want to go Xbox. You know.
Yeah, which I mean, there are a couple exclusives to Sony that I will be very sad to miss out on. But I mean, for example, I still haven't played the Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and I want to play that game.
But it's like I hear nothing but good things about it, which makes me smile.
Yeah. Whoever's doing the Ratchet and Clank games, whoever's designing those, whoever's writing the comedy and designing all these wacky, great weapons and styles and everything, kudos to you guys. Please continue. We love it.
Like, that's the thing. When PS3 and Xbox 360 dropped, I had an Xbox 360. I didn't have a PS3. So, the only reason I bought a PS3 was for the exclusives. Was for Metal Gear. Was for, you know...
It's actually funny you mention that, because you see, when the PS3 and the Xbox 360 and stuff came out originally, I was on a college campus in the middle of nowhere, and the only console system that they sold in that area was the Xbox 360. No one stocked the PlayStation 3. So, what did I do? Well, I got a 360. I wanted to play games.
But it's like...
Guess what happened?
Red Ring of Death?
Oh, immensely. So, of course, I tried to get that fixed and dealt with. Had it returned. Had to actually return the system because it got it so soon. I just got my money back. Tried a second one. Guess what happened?
Red Ring of Death?
Uh-huh.
But it's...
So when I went home for the Christmas holidays, instead of getting another Xbox 360, I went, no, I've always loved Sony and PlayStation. I've always loved the game selection with them. And now I have access to actually purchase one with the money that I had spent on Xbox 360 because I had to return them.
But
so I got PlayStation 3, and it's just kind of from there.
But it's like, the thing I will say, and I know they don't give a shit about the people who buy those consoles. I know they don't. But it seems like Microsoft cares a little bit more than Sony does right now.
And surprisingly, that's kind of what I'm feeling out of it too. I was like, I've always seen Microsoft and the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One or Square, whatever they're called. I've always seen them as just kind of like the latest Windows program. It's like, oh yeah, we built this. We want everybody to use it. We want it to basically be mandatory, and we don't care if you have the most frustrating time running it, because there are still glitches, bugs, and errors that we won't have even halfway patched until we've already released the next one, and we're no longer working on fixes and patches for it anymore. But it does seem that recently, with their most recent Xbox console, that they have been giving more thought to the consumer versus the just flat out
So
let's make money hand over fist on this.
yeah. So the one thing I think
Sony
they
seems to be doing kind of the opposite now.
yeah,
They've kind of flipped
Sony
spaces.
during PS4 realized, oh, they're doing all this bullshit. Well, you know,
How about we make money hand over fist on it?
on it, where Sony went, no, like when the PS4 and the Xbox were dropping, you know, Xbox was like, yeah, we're just going to tie it to the system. You can't change discs, all this. And Sony was like, no, we're going to do a different way. And, you know, we're going to drop the price of our system so it's more cost effective for the consumer and all this other stuff. Which made me go, okay, yeah, I'll go that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was applause. Plenty of applause. And I understand that perhaps the whole microchip shortage may have affected your plans of the console. However, it feels like microchip shortage affected how many you were able to make, not what your original plans for the device were. Yeah, so it feels like you guys kind of you guys kind of swap places where Microsoft went, oh, Sony made money by actually caring,
not caring, but
would want.
Not caring. But
let me rephrase that. When I said caring, I meant paying attention to what the consumers said they wanted.
Yes,
that's what I meant by caring.
Yeah,
I meant listening and paying attention.
Yeah, like, oh, they don't want their, it tied to their console. They want to be able to share it with their friends if they want to play it.
Right, and Sony kind of went, wow, we got everybody hooked on our stuff now. Let's just throw out the next thing to make more money off of it. And I just kind of went, no. That's what bad sequels in the theaters do.
Yeah. Excluding John Wick, which next.
Don't know. Still haven't seen those movies.
Yeah, we're not playing games next Friday.
We what?
We're going to watch John Wick. You know how when we're waiting for people, we play games before D&D?
Speaking of which, I did mean to mention that I won't be able to show up until the D&D session.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Unfortunately, I did mention earlier the whole amount of phone calls and stupidity I had to deal with my medical insurance and other things.
No, but that can wait until we're done, recording.
Yes. I had to switch my appointments, and they kind of ended up on that day. Sorry.
That's
so
okay.
I'm going to be later than I normally would.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We all understand, shit happens.
It does. But, back to the whole Xbox versus PlayStation.
Which, you know what? I could see us switching to Xbox. My only concern is how I record stuff right now. It will mean I have to
through Twitch and YouTube. Yeah,
I'm going to have to look into, is that possible on the new Xbox? No, I have to actually upgrade, my card, like actually get a, recording card.
That was another thing. That was another thing that I thought was something Sony did better than Microsoft on that one, is with anything peripheral, you had to buy an entire separate peripheral unit to do it. Like, you wanted to watch movies, you had to buy a separate DVD player you plugged into the Xbox.
No, that was only for HD DVDs. Was not for normal DVDs.
Yes, but you get where I was going with that.
Yeah.
They tended to do external peripheral things instead of inbuilt systems.
And that's one thing I can say about PlayStation right now over Microsoft is with their PlayStation View or whatever they're calling it, their augmented reality stuff that you buy.
Yeah.
You can just take the normal one that you have for your PS4 and use it on your PS5. You don't have to buy the upgraded one. Would Sony like you to do that? Yes, they would, but you don't have to.
Would you probably like to do that because you'd probably get better graphics or something out of doing so? Yes, you probably
but
would.
But if money's a concern,
money's an issue a concern at the time, or just the fact of
I
already have this. I don't want to pay to get basically the equivalent of this again.
Yeah, it's just up-resed a little bit, which
Which again, that was another thing. That was another thing that a lot of people didn't appreciate with the systems jumping to the next one. Was just so much of it's like, oh, well, if we jump to the next system, I can't play my old games on the new system, or I have to pay for them again.
But here's the thing: Microsoft did it right on that. I can at least admit. Because you can take your Xbox 360 game and stick it in the current Xbox shade, and it will download it if it's on the list of backwards compatible games.
Yep.
Like, that's the one thing
Now, supposedly, Sony was going to do that with the PlayStation 5. I have no idea whether they actually did, or whether perhaps they're planning to do that with the next wave of PlayStation 5s when they release PlayStation 5 Pro, whatever.
Yeah.
But currently at the moment, Microsoft's the only one who's done that. Semi-right.
They've done it so right you can take original Xbox games and put them in your current console.
No. I'm only saying since not all of them are functional. That
right.
It's a. Do they have a thread or a forum where people can list what games they have that they would like to be made?
So they do have a list where you can. They also have a list that will show you what games are updated for the console. Like, they're constantly updating that list. They're constantly adding to it.
Very interesting.
So, like, granted, the original ones take a little longer than 360.
Mm-hmm.
But they do update that as well.
All right then.
But yeah, the only thing that'll make me jump from Sony right now to an Xbox is if they release, we're doing another Gears. Okay. Take my money. Just take my money.
Well, there's two things that I am slightly concerned about for the upcoming future is with Sony, and if it happens, that will be the final straw that breaks the camel's back probably on this one. But I am worried that my subscription for PlayStation Plus was paid on an end month, one of the last couple months of the year. When they plan to activate this in June, what happens to those of us who paid to have a year subscription, say in October or December or any of that?
Yeah, I got you. So from what I've read,
will they cut us off and make us pay a brand new subscription?
No, from what I heard, it's just going to carry over. As far as I've heard. Now, will that implement? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you know,
now the other thing
because I just paid for
about,
a year's subscription too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now the other thing I'm worried about with that one is the games list. They're claiming, oh, you're going to be eligible if you pay the 100, you get 400 games. If you pay 120 or 130, whatever, you get the 700 games. It's like, what games are on that list?
That's what the video I was watching. He brought that up too. He's like, they didn't list it, which I don't like.
Yeah, and if you don't list it at least 3 months in advance, nobody's going to trust it.
Yeah.
You got to give us time to pore over the games and make an informed decision. I know how much legal people hate the idea of others having an informed decision for their opponents.
Yeah.
In this case, technically, consumers are the opponents, unfortunately.
Right, but we want our.
Yeah. We want informed consent here. If you just say, oh yeah, well, pay us 100 and we'll let you get this 400 game library, 120 we'll give you this 700 game library, and you don't tell us, and I'm not taking that gamble.
No. And
For all I know, all the good games on that list will have been the games I've already played.
Yeah.
And the rest of the games are going to be ones I'm just going to look at and going,
I didn't play it the first time, why am I playing it now?
Right.
But that's
also that 700 game list that they're claiming. If you are they going, oh, there's 400 games of PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1, and PSP titles? Because if it's 400 of those, that significantly reduces the number of titles you're actually looking at.
And that's the thing. It's too unclear right now to tell. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Precisely. This is just the point I'm trying to drive home here. Is we need to know before we're willing to pay such a thing.
Yeah, most people right now, because how tight money is, don't want to fucking are not going to just go, okay, take my money. It's like, no, we need to have.
No, I want to make sure that this penny goes the furthest I can throw it here.
Yeah, which, to bring up something different, the Harry Potter game. I was interested, and then they dropped that 11-minute trailer, and now I'm kind of like, take my money. You have me. You know what I mean?
I know, that game it reminds me of what we all imagined Fable was supposed to be.
Yeah.
When people first saw Fable and heard of Fable and saw the trailers and went, yes, give us a game where we can play in different styles, where we can, where our choices change the outcome of the game and what we do and everything, where we can run around with chicken hats and such.
But my thing back to it is, I was interested in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, I might pick it up. But then they drop a trailer. They explain most of the stuff that we've all been wondering about. And it's, okay, now I'm pretty sure I'll pick it up. Yeah,
I am. If I had money, I would totally be jumping on this hype train. And again, unfortunately, this is kind of the situation most. I'm going to say I'm not going to say most. I'm going to say a good portion of gamers are currently, unfortunately, in. Is that money is just. We might have enough. It's like for the next 6 months, where before say before the whole pandemic thing, a lot of gamers. Well, again, I'll tone that down. A good portion of gamers might have been buying at least a game a month.
Yeah, I was.
I was, but now, I mean, I'm thinking it out and going, I might buy one game for 6 months.
Yeah.
You know,
And I want.
I'm sorry, one game for 6 months if it's a brand new or AAA title, something, $60, $70, 50,
Yeah.
60, 70. If only one of those for 6 months, man. I might buy, something on the cheap, $10 or maybe $15. I might buy that once every other month or something.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, and they're not realizing it. It's like, well, why aren't people buying our games? Like, it's like, A, you're not telling us what we want to know, and
So we're not sure we'll like it,
and B,
and we just don't have the money to gamble on it at the moment.
yeah, where it's like, so is that? I hate to get political here. Is that because of who's in the White House? Could be. I'm not going to say one way or another. The other thing I will say is that because, price of everything went up because of COVID. Could be. These are things that a lot of companies don't fucking realize. You know what I mean? That.
A lot of people were unable to work for an extended period,
And now
their
they have.
entire they're playing catch up with all of their important.
Like I went from paying rent that was like $200 because my dad was still around to fucking almost all of my money goes to rent and bills,
And I went from making enough money to pay my rent, to play games, to go out and visit friends, to possibly see movies and other things, and still have and buy my groceries and still have decent amount left over to save up for rainy day or future thing. To I'm kind of living from paycheck to paycheck, hoping I can
Cover.
survive. Yeah.
and that's what I think a lot of gamers are going through right now. Like, if they want us to go buy a new console or pay extra, we're getting back to the PlayStation thing. They're fucking stupid because, not a lot of people have the money to do this. You know what I mean?
And the other part of it that I'm throwing out there is kind of dumb, is basically you guys took your PlayStation Now and rolled it into part of the PlayStation Plus
Yeah.
mandatory payment program. And I'm just like, how many people were actually paying for that service? And now you're making it you're basically wrapping it up in a shiny extra package and kind of going, hey,
Yeah.
look at this shiny thing. We made it so that's a lot of extra money for you to pay for, but it's tacked on there, and it's like, no. I'm sorry. If you take a pile of garbage and then you wrap it in gold foil and
It's
put
still
a pretty
fucking
bow on it
garbage.
and expect me to pay for it, it's still garbage. I don't want it. No, thank you.
Yeah. That's kind of where we're getting at, guys. It's do what you want with your money, but still, But still, we're saying
I'm not paying for a shiny turd.
yeah, we're not going down that road. You're not going to see me pay extra, on the channel for something that
Just like on any game like Apex or Fortnite or anything, I don't spend money. I don't spend real life money on those extras, on skins or.
well, I do on Fortnite, but that's neither here nor there.
Yes, but to me, it's mildly, it's not an equivalent, but it's mildly connected. It's like, how much money do you spend on the stuff in a game that you don't
Right.
truly need or want.
Right, and
Or
that's
users
where I'm
kind of
at
like,
now,
well,
where it's like I looked at Fortnite because they added some new stuff. There's no more building right now, Shade. I went 2 rounds back to back, getting to second. They also put a
and
tank, and it's actually fun without fucking jackasses building. There's also a battle tank on the map.
oh,
And it's
joy.
fucking great because when you hit the battle tank and you aim down sight, it's got heat vision. So literally, find the tank where it's gonna, like, the tank's in one spot, from what I know, and every map, it wheels to this one spot, and fuckers come over that hill, and I'm in heat vision, and I'm shooting at them with the tank.
Okay, Predator.
Yeah. Heat vision, for those people that are listening and are playing right now, heat vision
Thermal.
is a must in new Fortnite. If you get the heat vision fish, eat that fucker, because you will fucking see your kills go up. I think I won 11 kills straight, back to back. Like,
Which
so
leaves
22.
me with a mildly stupid question there.
Yeah.
Are the ice grenades still in there?
No.
I was just thinking, if you hit yourself with an ice grenade, you got all slip foot just like anybody else. But would that throw off the thermal vision?
I don't know, but all I know is I'm having fun with Fortnite. Hopefully me and Mr. Russell, because I will plug his Switch in, will play some Fortnite tomorrow for the channel, folks. Let's see. You won't see this, but let's see. I did download Revenant from Ashes, so we can play that.
Loaded.
But
Remnant?
yeah,
Yeah, it looks like I still have that downloaded.
We must row in these waters.
awesome. So we will be playing that possibly later tonight. After we're done talking here, because I don't want to break, you know.
Yep. I'm gonna check for an update. I don't know. Latest one. I'm good.
So literally that's what we're trying to say, folks. Do what you want with your money, but you know, as far as we see, Xbox is doing it better than what Sony is. It's essentially
Your money, your life, your choice. We're just personally, our opinions are, we think Microsoft might actually be dealing the winning hand about now.
especially with Halo. If you buy a season pass on Halo, I need to go back and explain this to you. So, like in Call of Duty, you have seasons, and you buy the
Yes.
season pass to use that season, right?
Yeah.
But if I want to say, if I don't play it very often, and we'll say we're on the 3rd season now, I'm just saying, folks.
Or if you have a funny month or something, and you weren't able to get on often or something, and you ended up missing out on that season.
You can go
I
back
did that
and
on Call of Duty.
and it goes from 3 to 4. You can go back to 3 and play that month of season pass if you bought it. Which I think a lot more people need to get a hold of on that one. Because that
I knew I could count on you.
that is exactly how you do it, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely like that. Like for me, when I finally jumped on being able to purchase like a season pass for say like Call of Duty Cold War when it was a thing, I was already a season and a half behind you guys,
Yeah.
and I wasn't able to get any of season 1 stuff at all, and I wasn't able to complete season 2 by the end of the season. Before it moved on to season 3, so I missed out on some stuff in season 2, and it's like, well,
I would like to see what you have.
phooey. Why can't, now that I've completed season, and when we did season 3, like, we beat that before even halfway through the season, and
Yeah.
I was just like, why
And then
can't
you
I
can
use
and then you
my
can go
other
back.
stuff on the season that I finished, that...
Right, and that's kind of what they're doing with that, where you can go back and,
That's nice. I like that. That's definitely a function that games these days kind of need.
especially if they're doing season pass,
Yeah.
because that, like we both said, that's something that I truly
Yeah,
think that's what's going to happen. That's kind of catching on, and it's going to be the thing from now on.
hopefully it does.
Good to see you, darling.
I've got the hiccups. Why do I have the hiccups? Let's see.
And that's the thing. The new Halo Infinite or whatever it is free to play with Game Pass. You didn't have to run out and go buy it. All of it was free. Which is awesome, in my opinion.
Okay, well, I think we've talked their ears off about this subject for now.
Yeah.
Thank you for anybody who did listen in or bothers to watch or listen to this later.
Yeah.
We greatly appreciate.
And for those people, if I can upload this on BitChute or on Rumble, because I did set up a Rumble account, let us know your opinion.
Yep. Thumbs up, spank the subscribe or whatever button, or I don't run this. But hey, make it so that he can eat more. Make it that he can get more games, so we can get more content on this.
Yeah, that is
else.
the one thing, folks, that if you people are wondering, well, where's the content? I'm fucking broke half the time after paying rent, folks. So I'm going back through old games and trying to see if there's anything worth playing on there.
There is nothing wrong with that. Old games are cool. I'm replaying like the Resident Evil 4 remake myself. I'm on professional mode and getting my butt handed to me, which is annoying, and cannot finish the Mercenaries mode 5 stars on everything to get the stupid hand cannon. I love that thing!
But back to before I finish, one of the games I will pick up is probably going to be the new Saints Row. And trust me, if it fucking sucks, me and Mr. Russell will have a podcast where we rip it a new asshole.
Would that make 17 of them at that point?
Oh, you have no idea. But we'll leave it at that.
I'm a couple hundred too low. All right.
No, you're a couple million low.
Youch.
If it sucks. If it goes back to Saints Row 3.
Okay, someone dropped the dubstep gun and summoned the goat, because not even Patoots will save it. Or Toots.
Mr. Toots. But that wasn't in Saints Row. That was in Guerrilla Warfare. I know.
But that seems like.
Yes. All right, but we'll see you guys on the next one.